This is what it looks like. You can see it's kind of sweating here because it's cold. That is the first cold brew. This is very light. That's extremely light. So this was operator error. You can always add more. You can really take it out. My favorite iced coffee I've had in a long time. It was delicious. You can do anything in here. I think I've read that you can do beer, you can do juice. Using the Nitro press is my favorite way to have coffee. Hello, everybody. So we're gonna get started. So I'm gonna look and test out a few products for making cold brew iced coffee, cold brew coffee. So before we get started, let's look at some of the things that I'll be using throughout. All right, first, if you've watched any of my lives before where I make drinks, this mat right here is one of my favorites. It comes in a 2-pack, kind of just keeps the water locked in. You can see I have some liquid in there, keeps everything clean. I use one on the bar and I use the other one at my coffee maker. So you're going to see this throughout. That's what that is. If you look in the description below, it's linked. So that is one thing I'll be using throughout. Also, since this is iced coffee, you're going to see some straws, obviously. So this is if you look in the description below, it's linked. Comes in a multi-pack. What I love about these most is that they come with these little toppers. I don't like drinking directly out of metal straws because I don't like it clinking my teeth, but they come with these. Also, when you're in a group, it's great to keep them, tell the difference between each one. So they come in longer straws and then a couple short ones. They also come in straight, just not just the bended. These go right in the dishwasher. They come with a straw cleaner, very easy to clean up. So those you'll see throughout this live. All right. So let's get into making cold brew. And be sure to heart if there's a drink you like more than others. I'm just testing these out. I have actually not tried these two cold brew makers before, so this was my first time. So let's start first with the very important ingredient to any iced coffee, which is ice. So I picked up these ice makers, these molds. We put them in the description below. They look a little something like this. And they open up. And the instructions are to fill this bottom. Let's look at the head. Fill this bottom with water and then take the top, push down on it so the water spurts out. So it worked fairly well when I made it, but I did, and I'll show you here in a second the outcome. I did take it out of the freezer a little too soon and opened this and kind of messed it up. So let's look at that. So this is me opening up the ice tray. You'll see I had to add a little extra water to it. And so that's what that corner is. Again, this is because I took it out of the freezer too quickly. I am trying this again. I do have it in the freezer now, and I will report back to this live about how it worked. But make perfectly round little icicles. And again, you'll see from this, they have those little edges on them. And again, I'm 99% sure it's because I opened this up out of the fridge too early and kind of messed them up. But they still work, I think. So I'll show you more what they look like. They come out really easily. I like that a lot because I know that sometimes these ice makers stuck in there. This one worked really well. Working out that one that got stuck up there. This kit also comes with this scooper, which I love. And you can see that it has 4 trays. And that's what we have right here. And this is kind of what the ice looks like. Had it in the freezer for a little bit. Again, we're going to be using these ice when we make our iced coffee. Okay, so now that we have all the important details of our coffee making, let's get into our first brewing choice. So this right here, I'm going to show you how you brew with it, but it comes in kind of like a mason jar, and I believe this is 64 ounces that it holds. And you'll see in the next video here how this works. So let's look at how I made. So I started with my favorite espresso beans. So I use these in my espresso maker. These are linked in the description below. These, I wanted to try them in the cold brew because I wanted a little bit stronger of a coffee. So I'm grinding them up. And the instructions on the brewer said to coarsely drip the coffee. So this is not well ground. It's just kind of a coarsely chopped ground coffee. All right, so here I am. You can see that this basket in the center, right there, keeps the grounds from getting in the water. So it said a 1 to 12 parts coffee to water. I just kind of measured with my heart. So this is 6 scoops, 6 tablespoons roughly of coffee. Again, we'll see if it's too strong. I like a little bit of a strong brew because I like to add milk and or half and half and water, maybe a little bit more water. So here's me adding the water. So I added 2 cups, and this is 4 cups, 5 and 6 cups. So again, this is 6 cups of water, so 8 ounces times 6. And here's what it looks like. Now, I know there's probably a better way to make this, and if you guys know a better way to make this, definitely put it in the comments. I know that there's, ways of blooming it. Just wanted to dump and go and see how this brewer did. So there's me closing it up. And we're supposed to put it in the fridge for 12 to 24 hours. This one was in the fridge just over 24 hours. I pulled it out after a couple hours. As it was brewing, the water went down, so I added some more water to fill it all the way to the top and put it back in the fridge. So now we're back. And this is what it looks like. You can see it's kind of sweating here because it's cold. That is the first cold brew. So let me bring up the cups I'm going to use. So I'm going to use these for all of them because these are my favorite kind of cold brew cups. These are glass with the wooden lid. It has a glass straw. This particular straw is straight. And what I love about these cups is that it's kind of basically seals right here. And so it kind of keeps, so if you, it keeps the liquid in. So that is something that I love. So let's try this coffee. So this one isn't concentrated. The other one that I have made is concentrated. So this one is more, I think you could drink this straight. Again, I don't know if I added enough. So I have my creamer of choice. We're going to put some ice in. All right, seems about right. So I'm not sure, I don't remember this part of the directions, but I'm gonna take the lid off of this. And I'm gonna take, let's look at the overhead camera so you can see what I'm seeing. So I'm gonna take the basket out. Now it's really well sealed. You can see it has like a seal around the edge. It's not gonna come out, but just personally, I'm gonna take it out. It's been brewing for 24 hours now, so see there's the grinds in there. Put it right here, put it over there. Hopefully it doesn't make a mess. And then this is the lid again. It has a seal in it. It's really nice. This screws right on the top. Let me bring up the coffee maker again. Line it up. There you go. All right. Mm, looks a little, I may not have put enough coffee in there. May needed to put more. We'll see. Holding my judgment. Have you guys used this before? What was the ratio you used to coffee to water? This is very light. I'm gonna already know it. That's extremely light. So this was operator error. Using my heart measure did not work correctly. All right. That's what it looks like. It's not as weak as you would think. Because it's espresso beans, I think it came through pretty well. Definitely going to fill this whole next time I'm gonna fill this whole basket with coffee. Maybe use a little less water. This isn't bad, as I mean, as light as it looks pretty sweet. It's actually not that bad. Let's put this down. All right, so let's look at the other one. This one's more of a concentrated brewing system. And you can even see it's much darker. So that's what this is. This comes in a box, and there's two individual. This one's a 4-pack or 2 servings. So this is what it comes in. I'll show you how I made it, but the instructions just say open the pouch, pour 4 8-ounce cups into cold water into the pitcher, steep for 24 hours, remove the packs, and serve small glass filled with ice, or skip the ice for a bolder flavor. So, before I show you how I brewed this, I do want to talk about this pitcher because I love this pitcher. It's, I think I just purchased it and it's one of my favorites now. So it has 2 of these tops here. You can use it for spouts open like this, or a small one. They have another one as well. Some more for juice. You can close it. It's like the right size. And you'll see also in the next clip that this fits perfectly in like the condiment side door. So I like this picture a lot. So that's what you'll be seeing throughout. So this picture is separate from the brewing. The brewing is just the coffee packets. Here's the up close of the instructions. So you'll see you pull out one of these and you open up, and inside this packet is two of these bags filled with coffee. And they fit perfectly in to the pitcher. It worked really well. So I just put two in there. And like I said, it gives you directions to do 4 8-ounce cups. So this is two of those 8-ounce cups, so it's 16 ounces. And you're supposed to put about 32 ounces in, which is 4 8-ounce cups. And it didn't quite fit in my pitcher, so I decided to go ahead and make this a concentrate. So you'll see that they're floating on the top. I did look, and it says specifically in the instructions, it's okay, it's gonna float, that's what's gonna happen. All right, so like I said, it fits right there in the door perfectly. I love that about this pitcher. So here is me taking out the brewing bags. I figured a spaghetti that would help, so I pushed them down in to kind of make sure everything's stirred in, and then went to take them out. It says be very careful with these, and you'll see you have to be very careful with these bags. This first one came out fairly easily. You see me kind of squeezing out some of the liquid. And then the second one I was going to fish out with my spaghetti strainer, which didn't end up needing because I was not as careful with this one because it had a hard time coming out. And you'll see here that I ripped the bag. This was me ripping it, taking it out. I'll show you that I was very careful so I didn't get any grounds in the pitcher. And then I had the bright idea that maybe I'll squeeze some of the liquid out of these bags, which, spoiler alert, that was a bad choice. So here's me trying the unopened, unbroken bag to kind of squeeze some of the liquid out. And I broke that bag too. So I would say once you get them out of your pitcher, do not touch them again. Do not put them in there. Be very careful with making, taking these bags out. So in my next time making this, I am not going to make it directly in this pitcher. I will store it in this pitcher, but I'm going to use a bigger pitcher where I can just fish the bag right out because I don't want it to break. I got really lucky because I was very careful with this. So, all right. So let's try this out. Like I said, this is a stronger, kind of more concentrated brew. All right. We're going to go into our glasses again. So this is a 6-pack I bought of these. Some are bent straws and then some are straight straws. It's the same. All right. I really like the round ice here. Great. So I have it on the most open. So let's much darker than the last one. Again, that was user error. This one is all thought through for you. You don't have to think about it. You just throw two of those packets in there and it makes itself, which apparently that's something that I need. Some of my creamer in here. I put too much in again. Some more of this in there. There's what that looks like. I may have overfilled it. Shrink this down a little bit before I put the lid on. Okay, much stronger. You can add some more water to this. This is very much a concentrated. There's that one. This is a nice strong coffee. It has not so much acidic, slightly bitter taste to it, but if you added a little sugar to this, if you add sugar to your coffee, this probably would work for you. Okay, so that is our two brewing cold brew options that I'm trying out. So we had the one that was in brewed in this basket, and then we have the one that was in packets. Let me know, have you guys used either one of these type of brewers? What success have you had? Do you have any tricks or tips? I'd love to hear about them in the comments. Okay, now we're gonna try a totally different option. So I've been seeing this one on my social media, and so I wanted to try it. And that is this, I think it's Javi, correct me. It's probably Javi, like Java, Javi coffee concentrate. So I'm trying it in the birthday cake. So this little bottle is supposed to hold up to 35 servings. And the concept with this is that you can add 1 to 2 teaspoons to water or what have you, and you have a cup of coffee. It does cold and it does hot. So I do have where I try it cold coffee, so iced coffee. I do have, I want to try it hot. So let's bring out my Ember cup here. So this is my Ember cup. This is in stainless steel. Love this cup. This is a, I believe, 10-ounce cup. Let me show you here. So currently, that's the temperature the water is in there, and I can adjust if I want it warmer or so like you can see down at the very bottom, I have it now at like 140, so it'll raise the temperature and it keeps it at that. So about an hour, hour and a half, this will stay. It also has a charging suck that it goes on, and then it can keep things warm for indefinite amount of time. So that's what we're going to make our warm coffee in, just because I want to see what kind of warm coffee this makes. So let's shake it up. Mm. Please hold for a second. I have to. Sorry about that. I had a cough. So let's bring up the overhead camera. So we're going to try 1 teaspoon to start. See how strong that looks. Hmm. Okay, let's add about half a teaspoon or a little bit more just to get a little bit more in here. Try a little creamer. Let's see. You can always add more. You can't really take it out, so I'm making a mess as I do. So let's try this. Now I'm assuming that the warm coffee probably is better with just the original concentrate. I have birthday cake because why not? So They do have lots of different flavors. If you check the link below, you can see different flavors, including just a coffee flavor, no fancy flavoring. Hmm. Okay. I think it needs a little more. I think a little more would work. And again, I definitely would say, let's do a, can I do this? Let's see how badly this goes. Oh, terribly. It went terribly. It's gonna be a strong cup of coffee now, so make sure you measure, guys. Don't do what I just did. Making a mess everywhere. Okay, that's not bad. I definitely will be trying just the coffee, not the birthday cake flavor, because I think that would make a good cup of coffee that's warm. But I did try this yesterday in an iced coffee. So let's look at that. So again, shaking it up. And again, I measured it this time, the first time, and I would suggest always measuring it because I did make a mistake there. And that I did about 1.5, almost 2 teaspoons. And I added a little bit more water. So there you can see it's kind of like the perfect color of coffee. And there's my straw. All right, so we're gonna take this outside and try it. And with this, I wanted to try some cold foam. I love cold foam when I go to, one of the coffee shops. So I wanted to try some at home. So that's what I added here and stirred it up to add some flavor into the coffee. And there you have it. I really liked this birthday cake flavoring. I think that was my favorite iced coffee I've had in a long time. It was delicious. I added that cold foam, was wonderful. So about just under 2 teaspoons was the perfect amount for, I would say, 8 to 10 ounces of water and a little cold foam. So that's kind of my mixture. So that is the Java concentrate. And for me, I personally really liked that one. So let me know if any of these something you'd be interested in trying. Do you want to see more? Definitely do a live, using these in different ways. I think that would be fun. So finally, next up is the Nitro Press linked in the description below. So now this makes drinks, adds that nitro edge to it, like a nitro maker would. This to me is like the cherry on top for coffee. Okay. So looks a little bit crazy, but it actually is very easy to use. So the one I have linked below comes with these. This is what adds the nitrogen to it. And 2 chargers. What you do here, this is where you're going to put your liquid. Bring up the overhead camera. You'll see here it has a line for, for max fill. So right here is you don't want to fill anything past this so that it can add the nitrogen into it. And then that's how much is in it. So when you're just kind of have to eyeball how much you put in there. So you can do anything in here. I think I've read that you can do beer, you can do juice. I mainly just do coffee and make, espresso martinis or just adding nitro that bubbles to my coffee. All right. So right here, this is a special nozzle specifically for the nitrogen. Right here is where we're going to add charger. Okay. I'm going to use this coffee, the one that was brewed in bags because it's a little stronger. So I'm not going to do a whole bunch because I don't need to. So I have it filled to right about there. The max line is here. This is where I'm at right around here. Again, this may be more than I need. We're just going to do coffee. Now you can add creamer, you can add whatever you want in here. Again, you can make this a martini. You can add your favorite spirit directly in here. But now let's look at this. All right, where were we? So I had put coffee in here. So right about there, which is well below the max. Do not, it doesn't go on yet. The lid on. All right. So this right here, which comes with it, you're going to put one of the N2 in, like that. Again, very careful with this. This is going to pierce that, so make sure you can hear it go into the can. You want to gently shake it back and forth. Now it's pressurizing, just be aware of that. So you want to make sure you're being careful. This is an adult, I would say 18 plus, or at least someone who knows to be very careful with this. You feel it getting cold because the N2 cartridge is working. All right, so there's that. So now, before we pour it out, I want to quickly mention the martini glasses these are going in. Because I think these are the perfect small espresso martini glasses. Right here. If you've seen any of my lives before, you know I love this kind of vintage etched glass. These are small little guys. So that is what we're going to pour this. This is just coffee, but we're going to call it a mock espresso martini. Again, add your favorite spirit to it. Shake it up like I did. Now this takes art, and I haven't done this in a while, so if I make a mess, you can laugh at me, it's fine. This is there we go. It's all in how hard you squeeze on this thing. There we go. Let's clean up my mess. The more I use it, the better I get. I can figure out how much pressure to add to this. And now let's look at it from a head overhead, and then I'll show you. You can make these nice little bubbles. Let me see if I can show you here. It's hard to see here. But again, like I said, you can add creamer, you can add whatever it is you want to this. And let's take a drink of it. Mm. makes it more creamy almost, I guess I would say. So that is the Nitro press. I have used this for the last year and I have found all kinds of fun ways to use it. Now, I will say, never open this right now because I still have pressure in here. So after this live, I'm going to go let the pressure out in the sink, get all the excess liquid, get all the pressure out until nothing's coming out anymore. Because of this, the hands here, it's very pressurized. So be very, very careful with this. Don't just open it after you're done. Again, make sure you're going to want to go until there's no, see, I'm letting out the pressure there. I think that's very important to note. I just made a mess. I usually do this in the sink. See, there's no pressure left. This is empty. There's no pressure in the thing. So then it's free and clear to go ahead and open this up. I think that's very important to note. I wanted to mention that because pressurized stuff. It's not scary once you learn how to use it. It's not bad. So the other thing I like about this Nitro press, it actually comes from whipped cream makers. It has a special nozzle on it to do the nitrogen, to the nitrate, whatever you want to call it. But this can be done with any of the canisters. So like I said, this is N2. It makes it this frothy kind of look. But they also have, I picked up these and I put them in the description below. CO2. And this will do different. This will make carbonated drinks. So if you want to make your own seltzers, add your favorite spirit and some water and you want to add bubbles to it. Well, this makes essentially is a soda maker. You can make your juices bubbly, make your favorite seltzer, like I said. So this machine is capable of doing that as well. So you either use this for this kind of nitro coffee, nitro cold brew, or if you want to make your seltzers, carbonated drinks, you can purchase these as well. So in the summer, this is my favorite. I can make nice cold drinks. All right. So that was the various cold brew options we have. We have this one, which I'm still figuring out. This one is a kind of mason jar brew with a basket inside that keeps the grounds central and then kind of brews over 24 hours in your refrigerator. And then we had these cold brew packets that brewed in a pitcher with cold water, 12 to 24 hours, kept it all contained. And then once you've made your cold brew, using the Nitro press is my favorite way to have coffee. So, and then finally we have the Javi. This one made us instant coffee. We just poured it in water and ice and had a nice ice brewed coffee. So, what questions do you have? Is there something you want to see again? Let me bring up these one more time. That's linked below right now. This one is made more of a concentrated coffee. You could add more creamer, more water. I also loved that in the Nitro press. I made a really good kind of frothy nitro cold brew. Then we have Javi, which I linked in the description below. That made 1 cup at a time, 1 to 2 teaspoons of this concentrate makes a cup of iced coffee. Or you can try it in your warm coffee. I would suggest maybe not doing the birthday cake flavor for a warm coffee. Maybe stick with French vanilla or a regular coffee concentrate. But if you look in the link below, you'll see all the flavors. Then we have our Nitro Press, which made us, this is a mock martini, but it can make you just about any of those kind of nitro drinks you're looking to make. So those are the things that I have to share with you today. Definitely let me know in the comments if there's more you want to see, if you want to see this used in a different way, if you want to see me try this one again here. this full brew maker in a mason jar. Try that again. Let me know. I would love to try it the other way, where you put the grounds in the jar and filter it through the filter. See if that makes a stronger cup of iced coffee. And if there are no questions, definitely give your one of yours, which one of these is your favorite? Drop it in the comments. Give me a, give it a heart and follow for my next live because I will be doing more of this coffee. Definitely do a lot of these kind of glassware reviews. So until next time, I hope you guys have a wonderful evening and cheers.